Tonight we're going to be having a gluten-free Chicago deep dish pizza, and I got this great recipe where I use, instead of cornmeal, I use gluten-free King Arthur brand cornbread mix, and that gives a nice moist crust. I'm going to also use some gluten-free bread flour from King Arthur and some gluten-free pizza flour, 00 Neopolitan pizza flour. It just adds, they all add a lot of flavor and they add a lot of texture to the Chicago deep dish pizza. So let's go ahead and get started. Open this up. Alright. Use 1 cup of King Arthur brand gluten-free cornbread mix. There it is. Use a 1/2 cup of our gluten-free Neapolitan pizza flour, 00. 1/2 cup of that. And 1.5 cups of our gluten-free King Arthur brand bread flour. Now this Neapolitan flour and this bread flour actually have gluten-free wheat in them, which adds a really great flavor to the pizza. Alright, so there we go. There's our flour mix for a Chicago deep dish. And I have 1 tablespoon of sugar. I'll go ahead and put that in there. Let's mix that up in a second, or I can mix it up. I have 1.5 cups of warm water. Go ahead and add some honey. I love the flavor of honey when you use it to activate your yeast and then put it in your pizza dough. It adds a nice flavor to it. So here's 1 cup of warm water, not too hot. Here's a 1/2 cup of warm water, so we got 1.5 cups of water. Go ahead and stir it. Let's get that honey all dissolved in that warm water. Alright, our honey's all dissolved. Now we go ahead and use add our yeast. Whole packet of instant yeast. Stir that up real good. And then that should start activating right away. I got 1/2 stick of soft butter. Just going to put that right in there and start the mixer. You can see our yeast is activating nicely, so we'll go ahead. Let me get a spatula first. You can see our yeast is activating nicely, so it's good. Go ahead and put that in there. Pour the whole thing in. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of garlicky olive oil, garlicky basting olive oil, so I'm going to give that a shake. You can see this is coming together good. So 1 tablespoon, so here's first half, and there's the second half. And this dough looks great. Alright, let's add our half teaspoon of salt now. There's a half teaspoon. I'm going to put it right on the middle here so that it stirs up really good. Alright, that's nice and mixed up now. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, I'll tell you, I'm going to use this to let it rise, let it sit in there. This is like cake batter, so it goes in, it'll fall in a little bit and fill out this bowl shape, this circle. And the reason for that is I'm going to use this for deep dish pizza. I'm going to use my cast iron skillet, and this dough is so soft that I could put it in there and I could just let it, once I could take it out, I could flip it right in here and then let it push down and then proof some more in the pan. So let's go ahead. We want nice and buttery. That's why we added buttery. So I'm going to use this butter spray, non-stick spray in here. There you go. Just spray the bottom and the sides. Flip this up. It smells nice and yeasty. Alright, you can see this is very soft. But what's going to happen is we're going to let this rise, and then after it rises, then we're going to add more flour to it. Very much like cake batter. Now the reason why I put this in here like this is because the gluten-free flours continue to absorb, the water that's in here, and this will actually will start to get harder as it sits. Especially, we're going to put this in a refrigerator. It's got this soft butter in it, and the butter's obviously been melted and mixed in with this flour. And we'll put it back in the fridge. It'll harden up that butter, and it'll harden up our pizza dough also. So put this in here. And press it around a little bit. No big deal. Alright, I want to spray the top because I don't want that to get a crusty layer on it as the air to dry out the thin membrane on the top. So I'm going to spray this with our buttery oil, and that keeps it from drying out on top. And then I'm going to get a wet towel. I'm going to put a wet towel on top of it, and we're going to put this in a nice warm place for 2 hours so it can rise from the yeast. Alright, here's my warm towel. Go ahead and put that right on top. Set it somewhere. So I'll see you guys in 2 hours, and we'll get busy with this. Alright, let's take a look at this. Look at how much it's risen. Remember I put it in there and I told you it'd fill this tray. That way when I'm all done, I could just put it in here and I could push it out. It's already got this nice circular pattern. I don't have to roll it. Alright, so let's look at this. It rose nice. Look at, I'm gonna show you, look at all that air in there. And it's more dough-like now. Like I said, even though it was rising and it's softer, it's more like a solid dough. It's not as sticky as it was before. So here we go. So this is our dough. It has the melted, well, it was soft butter, but obviously got mixed up, and we're gonna put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, if not 3. And it'll continue to proof in the refrigerator, but also that butter will turn solid again, and then that'll give it more structure. And then we'll take it out again. We'll proof it in our flat iron skillet, and for a couple hours, and then we'll put it out and start what do I want to say? Start cooking it and putting it together with a pizza. All right. So this has been in the refrigerator for about 3 hours. Oh, look at that. And like I was saying before, I did not I did not, but see how nice that'll fit from here to there. I did not add any more flour to that sticky mess that I saw earlier. And now that the butter has solidified in front of this, I can just give it some kneading. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to do proof it for 2 hours in this frying pan so that it gets nice and soft. All right, so this is out of the refrigerator. It's nice and cool. It has the texture of cookie dough. If this was raw cookie dough, it has that same texture, but it's pretty good texture anyways. All right, so let's go ahead. I have butter flavored spray. So instead of putting olive oil in the pan, I'm going to put in some butter flavored non-stick spray. And then I'm going to take this stick of butter and I'm going to rub that all in there. Rub the butter down really well. So go ahead and spread that around the sides. And do a really good job spreading down this butter. Alright. Alright, so that's buttered up real nice. I'm going to take this and just going to shape it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and throw that right in the middle. Press it down a little bit. And kind of get it to fill the pan up. I don't want to press it down all the way. I just want to press it so good it's going to proof some more for at least another hour. If not 2. If you got time, 2 hours. I got time, so it'll probably be 2 hours. Alright, so that's in there. It still has some consistency to it. And I put this all the way around the pan. Now I'm just going to cover it up with some plastic wrap. And then let it sit in a warm spot for the next hour to 2 hours. And we're going to see this is going to rise up again. And then we'll press it out one final time, put all our toppings on, and cook it in the oven. And it will be ready to eat. This has been proofing in the pan for like 2 hours. And you can see it puffs up. There's gas trapped, to get rid of that gas trapped underneath it. But it's nice and puffy. This is how we want it. This is exactly how we want our dough. And I'm going to squeeze this out. But we're going to press it towards the edge. And that starts lifting up our dough up the sides. This one go up right there. You can see how nice and airy the dough is. And it's buttery. You know that cornbread mix, the flavor is just incredible with that cornbread mix in there. Alright, so now we're going to scrimp this up a bit. Get in those corners. Push it in so it lifts up. All right, that looks great. Just going to scrunch this in just a little bit. All right. Okay, so here we go. This is our wonderful Chicago deep dish pie dough. Now we're going to put in cheese slices. All right, I got some delicious Galbani mozzarella cheese that I sliced up, and I'm just going to put these in like a pinwheel. All right, so we got our cheese. We got a really good amount of cheese in there, but you know, you can never have too much mozzarella cheese. All right, so we got our cheese in there. Now we can put in our sausage. This is a really good sausage from Gianelli's Sausage in upstate New York. This is a spicy Italian sausage, and it's delicious. All right, so go ahead. I'm going to press this in. And then I'm going to almost make a whole sausage. I'm just going to have this go around. I'm going to have this go around, and I'll fill it up. You pack all that sausage together like it's one big sausage patty, just like at Geno East. Alright? So we got a thicker crust like Pizza Uno's, but we got a nice full-size sausage patty, Italian sausage patty, just like Geno East. Alright, so I get the sauce and I put some spice in it, but the important thing is when you're making a deep dish, you don't want it to be too watery. So any type of sauce, even if you get like a jar of sauce, you want to be able to see how this doesn't leak over into the other one. It leaves these spaces. That's exactly how you want it. A nice chunky tomato puree with not too much water seeping everywhere. There, smooth it out. Alrighty, there we go. Last thing to do is to put a little Italian blend, Romano and Parmesan cheese, sprinkle that on top. Toss it right on there. There, that looks good. You can add some later. We'll just sprinkle just a little bit of oregano on top. Now I got my oven set at 425. I got a stone in there, a pizza stone. I'm just going to put this in there and just let it sit on top of the stone for between 35 and 45 minutes. I'll check on it at 35 and then I'll keep checking on it until I think it's completely done. Here we go. Take a look at this Chicago deep dish pizza. Oh my goodness. Got a little parm on there. Go ahead and sprinkle a little more right on top. Now I'm going to have to let this rest for at least 5 minutes before I cut into it. Sometimes you might want to wait until maybe 6 minutes. But this looks fantastic. And that crust is looking so butterylicious. All right, now we can cut into it. Start right there. That looks like a good spot. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's bubbling in the middle. Let's see if I can get this little piece out. Good enough. Oh my God. Ooh. A lot of cheese pull. Oh, look at that. This is good. This cheese is all coming in here. Oh, it's hot, hot, hot. But look at that crust. This is gluten-free, right? You see the cheese going down. This is gluten-free crust. Look how nice it is on the bottom. It's nice and golden. Nice and golden brown. Take a little taste of this. Ooh, it's hot. Look at that. Look at all the air pockets in there. Mmm. That is good. Oh, it's delicious. You need to make this. It's gluten-free.